Hello, guys. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Daejo. And so, Vuyo Dabula recently did an interview with Lungelo from the Engineer Your Life podcast. And from the beginning, the interview starts with questions about Christianity, spirituality, and why he decided to leave the Christianity religion. So I will insert the clip from the interview and then I will come back afterwards to give my opinions regarding what he said.
We'll see. And let me go straight into it. Why did you quit Christianity, Will?
Well,
is quitting the right word?
I don't know.
Okay.
English is not my, but I did leave it.
Okay.
I think it was just a lot of things that I could point fingers at.
Yeah.
A lot of questions that, I didn't have answers to. And a lot of things that I saw, particularly about Black people, we are the most that I think kind of worship the best. We've got so many levels of worship. That there's a whole industry that we dominate, with worship. And I think though we are the most suffering.
Doesn't match this worship that we're doing so much.
It doesn't, it kind of seems like a one-sided sort of relationship. We are not getting we're not catching a break, So I think there's just deep-seated hate, self-hate. I guess, a lot of it is our own doing, but it's just a lot of things are not adding up, so I just felt like, let me, as an African, even before, the missionaries and everybody, came into the continent, what were we doing? That's I feel like it's a fair question. What were we doing when, before the
colonizers, missionaries
came in, you know what I mean, spreading the religion,
Would you say, or rather, is it fair though, because somebody there who's a strong believer in Christianity is asking themselves, but Christianity for me brings peace, brings solace. Why is Vuyo saying that it's causing us to suffer more?
Look, I'm not saying it's causing us to suffer more. I think, we're not necessarily really getting any reciprocation.
Okay.
In terms of we pray when we worship, but the blessings are not coming with, the prayer. It's usually individuals. You'll find, I was in a church, one day I had an epiphany. I was in kind of almost in the middle of that hall. And then I looked at, people were grouped together. And I saw the successful people grouped together. And then I thought, hold on, I know these people and I know their strengths. It makes sense. And then I turned and I saw the other group, the middle class, the successful ones, and then the guys who can't even afford, taxi fare. No disrespect, but, I had spent a lot of time with these different groups and I had realized how different they are. And each group, kind of benefited from their strengths. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So the guys that are not necessarily doing well, they didn't have the go-getter sort of energy. They didn't have the hard work behind them. They didn't have the faith behind them. These are people who always, when you spend time with them, you speak to them, you can tell that they think that life is supposed to be the way it is for them.
Yeah.
Others are, doing so well, but whether they are Leos or what, Scorpios or whatever it is, they just have that natural ability to drag themselves through the hard learning, the hard work, and what have you. And and when you look at them, they are successful. So my point is, look, we're all under the same venue. We worship in the same God. But this other person does not necessarily have the strength. Why does this person not have the strengths that the other guy has? And I'm not necessarily talking about laziness or anything like that, and a lot of them, it's per background. You're affected by your background, where you come from, and, it's almost as if you're all alone. Why didn't God protect you from that environment that has broken you to a point where you are and you believe that life will always be this way?
I want to see if I understand you. You're saying we've got different groups in church. There's a wealthy section. There's people who don't even afford to come here. There's people who are middle class. They go to work, come back every day, live a very normal life. But these people who are broken, who are living in poverty, are still very committed at church. But why is God allowing them to remain in poverty, to remain broken?
Yeah, but then my question is, why did God give the other guys
that's what correct. That's what I'm alluding to. Why are we separate under the same venue?
Yeah. Why is there semblance of favoritism? Like it looks like favoritism in that space.
Yeah.
Now, my question would then be, why is he making suffering or poverty or experiencing challenges in life about Christianity? Like, Christians always claim that they are worshiping God, but most of them are still poor. Because according to me, I feel like these things are actually scattered everywhere, in every form of worship or religion. Like Nasib Sangomeni, in African spirituality, we have people who worship their ancestors, but they're still poor. We have atheists, people who claim that they don't believe in the existence of God, but they're still poor. Even in the Bible, when you read that book, we will actually realize that most of the people there suffered. And again, I feel like people who are well off financially in life also have their own challenges. It's just that their problems are not financially based, but we can never run away from struggles. You can have a lot of money, you can be wealthy, but you still lack peace, or you become sick. Meanwhile, there's someone who is poor, but they are healthy. Is that still considered favoritism? Or this favoritism thing only applies to financially related matters? And I also have a problem with the statement that he made, that when he said that we worship God, we always worship God, but we are not receiving any reciprocation. Then that would actually mean that we don't love God, but we go to him for what we think he can possibly offer to us. We have turned worship into a financial transaction. This is why now we have a lot of false prophets and false churches where people preach prosperity gospel instead of the true doctrines of God. And another problem that we have is that we venture into things in life using our own wisdom and understanding. We are not humble enough to seek what the will of God for our lives is. Yes, we are serving in the church diligently, but what we are doing, these are things that we are not sure if it's really God's purpose for our lives. And most of us who come from these poverty-stricken backgrounds is as a result of the mistakes of our forefathers. Our ancestors got themselves into these covenants that are against the principles of God. And scripturally, it's written in the Bible that I will punish those who disobey my commandments up to the 4th generation. We are suffering because of the mistakes of other people. God was teaching us how to be responsible there. So you can share your own thoughts in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe. Bye.